Welcome to Jonesing for Sports, where we make sports better.
Long time no see, everybody. It's your favorite white and Puerto Rican duo here to talk some baseball. As always, my name's Luke. I'm joined with my co-host E. And I'm going to start, before we get into this episode, which is, of course, the Take It Deep podcast brought to you by Jonesing for Sports, in case y'all forgot. Me and E got thrust back into work earlier than we thought during the lockdown, and that completely fucked up our entire recording schedule. So I'm going to apologize for that in advance. Case in point, I just got home, and E can vouch for this, within the last 15 minutes, and I got there at 6:20 this morning. So time has not been friendly. Neither has the baseball season in its little 60-ish whatever game nonsense season, but it's a real season. I'm not going to be the bitter asshole Yankee fan who says, oh, this season didn't count. No. It fucking counted. We didn't win. Is what it is. On to next year. But that is why we're here, because the Yankee season is now over. And whatever me and E can disagree or agree on, the one thing that we will forever be linked in is hardcore Yankee fandom. Fair statement?
That's a fact.
Right. So we are disregarding all other 29 teams. We are going to be hyper-focused on the year that was, the playoffs that were, and the moves that are going to be or should be made between now and hopefully the normal start of spring training toward the Valentine's Day, end of February 2021. So looking at the regular season, didn't win the division. Honestly, you can blame the Judge, Severino, Stanton, Canely, all the other injuries that we had. I personally am just not surprised. A team like Tampa is better equipped for a sprint and arguably a marathon than we were.
Yeah.
Fair statement. Can't really – kudos to them. They played their ass off. They kicked the living shit out of us during the regular season. What more what else is there to say?
Yeah.
And, of course, we had to get knocked out of the playoffs by Tampa.
That's what makes it worse. That makes it sting.
Yeah, that made it so much worse.
I feel like if we would have got bumped by Cleveland, we would have been like, what are you gonna do? It just wasn't the year. But the fact that it was Tampa and the way it happened, you're like, fuck you.
Yeah, 100%. So for what it is, the regular season, not a whole lot to go over. It's so atypical where you're not going to see anything like that again. Hopefully, in the next 100+ years. In regards to playoffs, though, I think some of the most questionable decisions that Aaron Boone has made in his tenure as Yankees manager were on full display. And I am going to put all of the blame on Aaron Boone. I don't think the roster wasn't able to compete. We can beat Tampa. It just seems that every time we play Tampa, regardless of high or low pressure situation, we just can't fucking beat Tampa. And when it matters, Boone is not the guy I want in my corner making my decisions.
He was exposed.
Yeah, big time.
He got exposed.
Yeah.
Like he's the type of manager who just goes off the game plan of what the front office and the analytics people put in front of him for today's game type of shit. And
right.
I understand we're in the analytics age now, but you still got to be able to see if a guy's going or not through his performance that day. Like you should be able to see your pitcher just doesn't have it. I don't care if the fucking paper says, well, he usually does good around the second time. No, he gave up 4 bombs the first time. Why would I?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And like, obviously, there's no need for us to talk about the Cleveland series. They took care of business, got them out of there. Cleveland, even though the second game, Cleveland got to them. They scored a lot of runs on them,
Huh?
which scared me going against Tampa because Tampa's built of just mostly their pitching.
Yeah.
So to the fact that you get in game 1, you beat Snell, good. Game 2, you got Glass now, who's probably he is Tampa's best pitcher.
Yeah. I think we can say that.
And we all thought it was great to start Devi for 1 inning. 1 inning.
Yeah.
Why not just start fucking Hap if you were gonna pitch him most of the game anyway?
Yeah.
What are we? Why are we trying to be too cute here?
Yeah. Well, I literally wrote down in my notes here, it is not a good idea to out Tampa.
Exactly.
They wrote the book on this. There's no team better equipped to handle Aaron Boone's fuckery than Tampa.
Exactly.
And for what it's worth, it doesn't matter if you want to put in Davey to go out for an inning. At least let him get 9 batters faced. Let him go once through. Let the game develop. Maybe we put up a 4 spot in the second inning, give him, a little bit extra rest between innings and a confidence boost.
I mean, and to be honest, too, even in that whole situation, he didn't look that bad in that first inning.
No, he didn't.
He gave up the 1 home run. Okay, but he did not look bad.
Cole gave up home runs too, and he still looked damn good. Giving up a home run, especially when you're in the playoffs, you're not facing the Rangers. Like, you're facing good teams that can hit. So no one should be worrying, oh, he looks terrible. No. If anything, he looked terrible because he had Gary back there. And I have a whole Gary spiel for later.
You might not be the only one.
I'm sure you have one too. But regardless of Aaron Boone's decision-making or leaving Davey out there, either just leave him in. There's Earl Weaver, old Orioles manager from the 60s, 70s, the Baltimore heyday, was at the time far ahead of the curve, basically was playing Moneyball 30 plus years before Moneyball was even invented. So there's a way to be a thinker outside the conventional methods and way of handling your business. This is not the time for that. We don't even steal bases. And you want to try and think outside the box now? Fucking why? That's what blows my mind. Like, I understand Aaron Boone goes into his office every day with a packet of shit that the analytics department drew up for him. Good for them and good for him. I highly doubt that analytics pamphlet said start Davey for 1 inning.
Yeah, that made absolutely no sense. That made like when I first seen they said Davey was gonna start.
Yeah.
Game 2, I was like, you know what? That's not that crazy of an idea because Tampa's seen Tanaka so many times. Why not give them somebody they haven't seen? Throw them a little wrench. So then we can probably, steal another game and go up 2-0.
Yeah.
But then when he took him out, I said, why?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck are we doing here?
Yeah. And then not to mention, Davies basically in his first full year.
Yeah.
Hap has been around what feels like an eternity, not just in the Yankees, but in Major League
Baseball. Baseball. Yeah, he's been around forever.
So what you're basically telling me is you have not enough faith in Davey to let him go through at least the order once, which is pathetic. And you don't have enough confidence in Hap to just give him the ball from the jump. So that looks dually bad there. And any Yankee fan who's in the know should at least be abundantly aware that J.A. Happ and the Yankees are a divorce waiting to happen probably this offseason. They don't like him. He doesn't like being there. Just break it off. Who cares? We paid Jacoby Ellsbury how many millions to get him out of town? Happ's numbers far less. Just do it.
Yeah, get him out of there.
No one's gonna go cry that we don't have J.A. Happ on this team anymore.
Mhm.
And my other problem, and this is more all year, we were terrible against pitchers like Glasnow. We have a history of doing decent against Snell. Morton is hittable, but when he's on, he's not. So it's just what version of him are you getting?
Yeah.
But I've been saying this for a while now, and I think it's starting to come to an obvious head where there's a reason that a team like Kansas City, and I've mentioned the Royals of 5 years ago on this show a lot. There's a reason that team won 2 pennants in a row. And a reason why Tampa is probably at least going to win the American League. There's a beauty when your players are not all looking to hit home runs. There's a beauty of shooting doubles and triples into the gap. There's a beauty of working walks and stealing bases. There's a beauty in playing actual defense, which, again, the Yankees were dead last in total defense.
I got something for that, too.
Yeah, so we are now at a point where if you stack my team with on-base percentage guys, that's literally playing Moneyball. I get that theory. You need a balance of on-base guys and power guys. It can't just be, or you can't just take Tyler Wade and teach him how to hit 20 home runs a year. It's not going to work.
There, on that lineup, there's probably 2 or 3 guys who are on-base guys.
Yeah.
LeMahieu, Hicks, and maybe Urshela.
Yeah. And then Wade, if you actually gave him a shot to play.
Everybody else is swinging for the fences.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, Giancarlo Stanton, that's what he's been.
Right.
He built his career on that. So we're not going to change that. Aaron Judge, another guy, who has the potential to be an all-around hitter.
Yeah.
But I feel like they get caught up. They all get caught up on that home run ball too much.
Yeah.
There has to be, you have to break that lineup up a little more.
Yeah. I don't disagree.
I don't know what you do. If you want to take Judge out the 2-hole, do it. Give me Hicks and LeMahieu back to back.
Yeah.
More guys who can get on base for these power guys.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I just they're stuck with the lineup they have right now.
Yeah.
There's one big thing we all know they have to do.
Yeah.
Give LeMahieu whatever the fuck he wants.
Yep.
Don't even bullshit around. I don't want to hear Wade has potential or you have this guy in the farm system. Stop bullshitting us. Sign the guy.
Yeah. And keep him away from the Mets, who right now have an open checkbook.
The Mets are going to make moves this offseason.
Yes, they are.
They will land one of the big names out there, whether it's trade or free agency.
Yeah. They'll get one of the big ones. It's probably going to be, my guess is it's either Rio Muto or Trevor Bauer.
I think they could get Lindor.
Or that. He would probably play for the Mets. And aside from that, the only other thing I'm going to say on Boone, Game 5, you started Higashioka. There's no reason he shouldn't have that he had to be pulled in the 8th. Higashioka is the one hitting. Higashioka is the one who can block a ball in the dirt. And we know Tampa runs, so even if they did get a guy on first, Gary probably wasn't going to throw him out anyway because I questioned Sanchez's ability to literally catch the ball.
Yeah, that in a game like that, a 1-1 game so close,
Uh-huh.
why would you put Sanchez in knowing who you have coming out in the bullpen? Zach Britton, who throws nothing but sinkers, and Chapman, who can be wild.
Yeah.
That
Uh-huh.
makes zero fucking sense to put the liability of a catcher back there.
Yeah, and also the liability who, for what it's worth, doesn't hit. Gary Sanchez is the last human on earth I want within the box in a pressure situation where I don't need a home run. I just need a single or a walk. I don't trust him to get either. And if his spot comes up in the order, I'm almost penciling him in for probably an out, maybe a home run, and if I'm lucky, a cheap double.
You give him more credit. When he comes up, I say strikeout or double play.
Right. Realistically, I don't expect him making good contact. I don't expect the line drive. It's either bomb or ground ball. And the one good thing, and this had nothing to do with Boone, Garrett Cole was as good as advertised once he and the team woke up and realized Higashioka has to catch him. Because Higgy actually calls a game.
Yeah.
Not a lot of shakeoffs. If you notice in the 8th inning, when Brasso hit the home run, when Chapman was pumping nothing but fastballs, and this, I actually give Gary credit, he threw down the sign for slider. Chappie shook him off. So the home run's on Chapman.
Yeah.
Which is fine. At least he got beat with his best pitch.
Listen. My whole thing, I've seen a lot of people calling to get rid of Chapman and stuff like this. Here's my thing with Chapman. You don't get rid of him.
No.
He's a guy who throws 100.
Yeah.
We all know what happens when somebody gets to square up on 100. It's going to go.
Yeah.
And now in today's game, everybody's used to 100, seeing 100 coming.
Mm-hmm.
Chapman is still nasty.
Yeah.
He gave up one home run and we lost. So the entire playoffs wasn't on him.
Correct.
Why was he he was gonna end up pitching 3 innings that day.
Yeah.
Why? Oh, because we used Green for 3 innings the day before.
Yeah. The common denominator here is just foolishness. It's I don't know if this starts at Cashman, but it at least starts or goes through Aaron Boone.
Yes.
The organization said today Boone has his job.
Yeah. I was one of the people who said he needs to go.
Oh, there's a lot of people that should be. I don't listen to the fan, frankly, because it's all right now. It's all Jet and Giant fans moping, and Met fans that are expecting the world out of Steve Cohen, which is fair, good for them. But the Yankee talk is over. There's nothing else to listen. So we're going to get into the moves that we should be making this offseason because there's not much else to say. Stanton had the greatest postseason he'll probably ever have. The rest of the team, I mean, LeMahieu was LeMahieu. He's automatic. The rest of the team was just kind of whatever. Urshela made some of the greatest defensive plays I've seen a Yankee third baseman make in a while. But it not enough is what it is. Looking at the offseason, what are some of the moves, now that we know Boone is firmly still there, that need to be made?
All right. Obviously, we both agree. Get Hap out of there.
Yeah, obvious.
We have 2 other starting pitchers who are free agents, Tanaka and Paxton. I bring back Tanaka over Paxton.
I agree.
I get rid of Gary Sanchez.
By what means? Trade?
Trade.
And what are you willing to accept in return?
This is where I'm a little iffy. There's 2 names on the free agent market.
Bauer, Realmuto?
Mm-hmm.
You want both, don't you?
In a perfect world, of course.
Realistically, who are we getting?
I think it's more realistic that we get Bauer.
I agree.
I think Realmuto is going to want a crazy contract. Don't get me wrong. He deserves it. He's the best catcher in baseball. That's why I feel like if the Yankees were to land him,
you
get rid of Gary for build some of that minor league system up again.
Yeah.
Let's get some prospects,
Yeah.
and see what we can get from it.
Yep.
I like the rotation of a Bauer and Cole up front, with Tanaka being the third.
Bauer and Cole also college teammates at UCLA.
And with those, and then you throw Monty and Evie in the back end because Sevy's not coming back to June or July.
But Domingo Germán will be.
I seen something that the Yankees might not want to bring him back.
Yeah, so totally fine. I'm okay with not bringing him back at all.
I don't care.
Let me throw an idea at you. Domingo Germán is a piece of shit human being. We've already determined that. And Gary Sanchez right now, future is iffy at best with this team. There's aside from I don't think we're getting Real Muto. I think the Angels overpay for him. We'll do a off-season prediction show.
Oh, of course.
In a few. But
so are you like me? Think it's more likely Bauer?
Yeah, I think having Cole and the need for probably another.
And it came out, I
starter.
think it was last week or the week before, that Bauer actually said he would play for New York.
Yeah, I was iffy on that, but now that and Bauer's not a bullshitter. Anyone who knows Trevor Bauer, even the slightest, if that man says he's doing something, he's going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least he's not going to backtrack on something. My whole thing, here's how I get rid of Domingo Germán and Gary Sanchez in one shot and can improve my roster now. There's a team right now that is tanking and that can afford Sanchez and Germán because they both don't make great money at all. That team is the Kansas City Royals. What I want from them is Salvador Perez's old ass and Whit Merrifield.
You got to pay more than that.
Oh, no, I will pay more for that. You want fucking Clark Schmidt too? Fine. I don't care.
Yeah, you're going to have to throw in Clark Schmidt.
Right, because Anthony Siegler is the reason we're not going to spend money on Real Muto. I'm fine with that. But we never should have let Romine go. Me and you said that the day I think he signed with the Tigers. That was a big mistake.
Yep.
Also, Merrifield gets dangled in trade talks all the time. He's on the most team-friendly contract in baseball. He's a contact guy, speed guy, multiple position, basically a better version of Tyler Wade, which we need more of anyway. I don't need a guy I don't need another 40 home run guy. I need a guy who can get a 410 on base by any means necessary. And Gardner's probably gone. DJ is not a lock to come back. I need a guy at the top of my lineup who I can trust to get on base.
Yeah.
So that's my idea to get Sanchez and Germán out of town and actually get something good back.
And that's another thing on my note too. Like, let's say it's not a Bauer or Real Muto.
Yeah.
You have to take a look at the other big name, trade-wise, Lindor.
Yeah.
Glaber showed he's bad at shortstop.
Yeah, I think he was out of position so long. I think it probably fucked with his head.
Bad, and even if you re-sign DJ, which you should, no matter what, adding a guy like Lindor, because I even read some things that said the Yankees should look at Andrelton Simmons. Here's my thing: I don't want to overpay for a guy just to play great defense.
Uh-huh.
If I'm gonna play, we know Lindor can play great defense. You know about his bat; he's a switch hitter. He killing Yankee Stadium batting lefty. Why not try? Like, there's no hurt in talking.
Yeah.
See what you would have to give up.
Right. And Dayton Moore, for what it's worth, has always shown a willingness to at least entertain trades. The Royals right now, Alex Gordon retired. So that the face of that team is now probably always was Salvador Perez. But the remnants of 2015 are few and far between. We're far enough removed where that team, their identity now is probably Soler and Adalberto Mondesi.
Yeah.
Why not?
I agree with you on Gardner. We don't have to bring him back. Give Clint left field and let Clint play.
Yeah, Clint, especially on defense, has earned that spot.
And my
Stop
thing with
fucking with the kid.
and the thing with about bringing a guy like Lindor for shortstop reasons is they'll be better off rotating that DH because you can't play Luke Voigt a full season at first.
No,
His body doesn't hold up.
no. He played, what, half the year with like an actual legitimate foot injury?
Exactly. His body can't hold up to it, so you have to just be able to rotate it.
Yeah.
That's why DJ being so versatile helps you.
Yeah.
You know,
And plus, there's a lot of balls at first base that DJ will scoop. DJ is the perfect body for a first baseman in terms of height, lankiness. He's
Yeah.
perfect for it. Voit is built like a DH first base catcher, but he's not. He's the kind of guy that's not going to ever be a Gold Glove defender. I know he said on R2C2 he wants to be a Gold Glove caliber first baseman. He's got to drop about 30 pounds to get in like Freddie Freeman, Paul Goldschmidt physical shape.
Yeah. Nah, but on those moves, and you definitely got to try to bring in some more bullpen help.
Yeah, I have another idea for that.
Obviously, you're not getting Canely back until like the middle of the year.
Same with Severino.
Chad Green is there, but you just gotta have somebody in the sense of to bridge that gap some more.
Chad Green, in my opinion, has become the Yankee version of Phillip Rivers, and I'm pretty sure you know where I'm going with this. Chad Green at this point has become the Yankees' hand job where, like, okay, I have him, but I'm not, like, thrilled about it, knowing that there's better to be had.
Chad Green reminds me of when Joe Torre used to call in Scott Proctor all the time.
Yeah, right.
Like, Proctor couldn't even, by the end of his career, he couldn't even lift his arm up as many innings he would throw because of Torre.
Yeah, right. My idea for the bullpen, and I want to see, A, if you agree with me on this, and B, what you would maybe do different. Our surprise team that me and you were both high on that shit the bed, the Arizona Diamondbacks. They traded Marte. They're
You trying to tell me Archie Bradley?
Bingo.
The guy that his name was brought up last season a lot that the Yankees are interested in?
Yeah, I think the beauty of a guy like Bradley, it's going to suck that he has to shave the beard if he ever came here, but I don't think he has a no-trade clause. Therefore, he can't say no.
Exactly.
Unless the team is just like gives him that respect, which I doubt.
Yeah.
Bradley has shown from the last, and I'm not talking about him hitting a triple because that's not realistic in American League ball. But he's at least shown that in a high leverage situation, he can be trusted.
Yeah.
That's all I need. I don't need him to be my closer. I just need him to be like the seventh inning guy.
You're right.
And I can't trust him anymore.
I definitely don't think he would play here because I think it was sometime last season he was on R2C2.
Yeah.
Go back and listen. I think he said like he would definitely. I mean, he definitely said he wanted to stay in Arizona to try to beat the Dodgers, but now you got to get past that Padre team.
Right. Right now,
I'm gonna take my credit now before you even go. I called the Pirates and I called Tatis Jr.
Yeah, you did. Arizona, dude, what you're hinting at, that division's not winnable for a while.
No.
The Rockies, the Giants are already doing it begrudgingly. The Diamondbacks will do it in a heartbeat. You got to blow it up.
Yep.
Just honestly, just do exactly what the Padres did. Eat dick for a while, build a crazy farm system, and when the Dodgers and Padres, or at least the Dodgers, fall off in about 7 to 10 years, be ready for that.
Yeah, you're right.
They're never going to compete with him. They won't. But a guy like Archie Bradley would be.
I like that.
To me, that's a beautiful, beautiful addition. You're not going to get Kirby Yates is out of the question now. The Padres are too good. You're not going to get any of the Dodger guys, and frankly,
you're not getting Hader.
Right, that price is too high. Bradley to me is more realistic, will cost less, and the Yankees and Diamondbacks have a long history of making trades. Didi Gregorius, you could ask him about that.
A guy I wish that was playing shortstop for us this year.
He's a free agent again now too. I back to Gleyber Torres. I couldn't agree more that Gleyber looks lost at short. Is he young enough to teach him? Yes, but he's also an established major leaguer now. I don't feel comfortable with him unless he's back at second base.
Yes.
That's just what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I hate to be so blunt. If you want to relegate DJ LeMahieu to the corners, which I'm sure he would arguably prefer at this point anyway, given he's 30, 31, I believe, 32, probably couldn't hurt. Why not?
Yeah, of course.
Is there anything else? Yeah, and then there's got to be a way to add speed. We do not steal bases at all.
Not at all.
And the only guys that can do it are Hicks, Gardner, and Wade. There's got to be a way. This is where that 26th spot makes a difference.
Yeah.
If you add reliable arms like an Archie Bradley plus what we have, you can use that extra spot for bench depth.
Yes.
There's got to be a way. Add some speed. That's why I'm advocating for Merrifield for so many different reasons, but that main one off the bat is huge. Who cares? Ronald Acuna should be the prototype of everything you want from a player. Power and speed. Legit 35, 40, 40 guy. I'm not saying Whit Merrifield can give you that, but he can give you the 40 stolen bags.
No, yeah, I definitely agree. They need some base stealing threats at least.
Right. We only have two of them, really three, but two. Like at a certain point, something's got to give. It doesn't cost much to bring in a guy like Gerard Dyson.
Yeah, to keep it a little more on the offense too, you have to find a way to get some left-handed bats in that lineup too.
Yeah, that would be.
Being too right-handed is hurting. I understand Hicks is a switch hitter, but
he's low average from both sides.
Exactly. Hicks is just gonna get. Hicks is the best part of Hicks' offensive game is he has some pop, but he's gonna get walks.
Yeah. Yeah, but I don't like Hicks as a leadoff guy.
No.
And
that's the problem. I would prefer DJ batting second.
Right. Yeah, right. Because he's at least almost guaranteed to put the ball in play.
Exactly.
Give me Wade ahead of him. Give me Merrifield. Give me Lindor wouldn't fit the bill, but give me somebody in that realm. Just give me even Clint. I don't care. Just teach him how to not swing. I give no doubt in my mind Frazier could steal bags.
I'm gonna tell you this. I know there's a lot of people who still don't like Clint.
Get over it.
I'm good with Clint. I really am.
I love him.
Like people get mad that he has a swing for home runs and stuff, but you gotta understand, this kid, there's spurts that this kid carries this team, and you gotta remember he still hasn't had that full season in the majors yet.
Right. If you give him time, the rewards are there.
I think they're just fucking with him mentally.
Yeah.
He always has that threat of being sent down or something on him. He's always in trade talks. Like,
yeah.
That's what I said. Gardner can go and let Clint take over left, man.
Yeah. And if Gardner does leave, I personally don't see him signing. I could see him signing with like Detroit,
Kansas City.
right? A team like a bottom feeder right now. I would offer him a spot on the staff just for clubhouse glue.
Yeah.
Because, like, we made some form of an effort to keep CC around, but COVID kind of made that impossible.
Yeah.
So, like, you got to keep some of those guys around.
Yeah, of course.
The team will just be better.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, before we got the update about Boone staying, that was going to be my main focal point is Boone has to go.
Yeah, I was all for it. I think, to be honest, I think I said it after game 2. I think I spoke to my father. I think there's 3 points I made. I said, Boone got to go. Sanchez got to go.
Yeah.
And I think it was like, go get another pitcher.
Yeah. Just find a way. But the beauty of doing an episode like this at this point in the season where we're at games 3 and 4 of the CSs is we still where the offseason isn't even here yet. We have realistically at least another week and a half, 2 weeks before we even get to that point. And baseball has so much shit to figure out anyway.
Yep.
There's time. I wouldn't be shocked if the winter meetings are all Zoom and text messages. Or if they do it in like Dallas, because they seem to be doing everything in fucking Dallas right now. Or Disney, because they just proved they can have a very successful bubble.
Yes, it did. Shout out to the NBA for that one.
Yeah.
They're cool. Yeah.
Yeah. And for what it's worth, I've already looked up when next year the Yankees play the Astros when they come to the Bronx. The tickets, again, for our listeners, I contacted I want to say, when was this? January? February, maybe?
Very early.
Yeah. We're talking at least damn near a full month minimum before spring training. I said, I bought you and me tickets for the game Monday, September 21st in the Bleacher Creatures when Houston comes to town for the first time this year.
Yeah.
COVID took that from us. Thank God I got the StubHub insurance. I have a credit for those tickets.
There we go.
Of the value.
All right.
If you don't think that at least me, and I'm sure you can take a day off from work if you had to, I was going to do it. We have to go. We have to go.
Of course.
Right. And it would be beneficial. Obviously, we're going to get annihilated. I was fully planning on bringing D batteries into the stadium somehow to throw at Josh Reddick in a blackout, so I had plausible deniability.
He might not even be there.
Probably not at this point. But either way, that is by far the most upsetting part of COVID of this entire year.
That was
for me at least. I don't know
I
anyone that
think
died.
it was in the sense of the Astros didn't get what they deserved this year. Not saying hitting
Oh,
them.
it's coming.
They got away with not having to deal with the opposing teams' fans.
It's coming. No one's forgotten. The Astros are like the 9/11 right now of baseball. Never forget.
Mm-hmm.
And until they get their justice, it has to be that.
Yeah.
Baseball is and again, Manfred's always going to be, well, if you hit him, you're going to get suspended. This is what rookies are for. Severino threw at the Blue Jays in his rookie season and started a fight. That made me love Severino.
Yeah.
Hey,
you know what? You're proving. Yeah, we should send this recording to Trevor Bauer. What better way?
This is a buddy of mine who's a humongous Met fan who thinks they're going to get Real Muto, Bauer, and DJ LeMahieu, I've explained to him, listen, the Mets right now are in a position to be very good because they have an owner finally who's not a complete fucking idiot. At least I have his college teammate, and there is no better place for Trevor Bauer to go than the Yankees on the sole purpose of our mutual enemies.
Yeah.
What more could you want? And you could say, oh, well, he never pitched in a big atmosphere or a big market. True, he's never left Ohio. But
If anything, if anybody's paid any attention to Trevor Bauer through interviews, his YouTube shit, you should know he's a different individual.
yeah, he's like a less offbeat version of Hunter Pence. Oh,
There's not I feel like there's not a lot of things that can get to him.
no, he's uniquely him in like the best possible ways. His YouTube channel, Momentum is what it's called, is fantastic. Highly encourage people watch it. And his agent is an absolute rocket. This chick is a 12.
Okay.
Yeah. I sat about a week ago, watched a vlog of him and his agent just going in spring training pre-COVID, going to just saddle Camelback Ranch to watch like his old teammates with the Reds, or I'm sorry, with the Indians play like the Dodgers or some shit. And he's just sitting in the middle of the stands getting cotton candy and shit. It's fucking hilarious because Trevor Bauer is goofy like that. I think our locker room could use a guy if we're going to lose someone like Gardner, who is a good team guy. Garrett Cole would vouch for him 100%. We need some of that. We just do.
Yeah.
Now, are we going to be able to pay him? Maybe. Who knows?
That's the thing I hate too. Is like I understand it's not like when George Steinbrenner ran the team, but let's open that checkbook a little more. Come on.
Yeah, because let's be real.
You're saving $30 million. You're saving $30 million. The Marlins will send you $30 million this year from staying not opting out.
Yeah. This is true.
So there's $30 million you have to spend.
Yeah, and let's be real. You're going to extend Judge. You can defer money on Judge. Your Glaber's probably earned an extension. You can do it however you have to do it. I know DJ is the one who has to get paid. Pay him.
Yeah.
Just get it done. There's no more excuses.
Absolutely.
This team almost has to win in spite of Boone, which is terrible to say, but it's the truth.
Absolutely.
This is where we're at now.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. So what me and E are going to be doing for the rest of the offseason, obviously we'll do the team breakdown just like we did this year, but that's a 2021 bridge to be crossed. Anytime there's a big signing or some trades or anything worth talking about, we're going to come on and talk. That's what we're here to do. For those of you who are on the Patreon, you know that E and Sean do a hell of a job with Full Court Shot, and we do our football shows. Hockey is a work in progress, so is soccer, but we're at least trending in the right direction. If by some miracle you listen to us but are not a Patreon, you're a fool.
Yeah.
You're Aaron Boone. Be better than Aaron Boone.
Don't be like Aaron Boone.
Be better than Boone. So, only cost you $1. Most people got their jobs back, or you're still on unemployment. Either way, you have $1. Throw it our way for the early access. This episode will be 100% going first to our Patreons, and will live there for at least a week prior to being released on YouTube.
Yeah.
So bear that in mind. And that goes for also most of our shows, if not all of them. Not to mention all the good shit we got coming once it's only football and nothing else. Oh, we got some shit in the works.
Yeah.
But for E, myself, this has been Take It Deep. Y'all have a good one. We will see y'all soon. Peace.